What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to our player ratings here on Anfield Agenda after Liverpool have beaten Fulham by 4 goals to 3. The reason these are late is because we were doing a watch along on top of the league of the Manchester City game against Spurs, and that result at the Etihad means Liverpool finished the weekend 1 point behind Arsenal in second place in the Premier League. I'm absolutely buzzing. The weekend could not have gone any better. But I'm going to go through now and give the players a score out of 10. As always, I ask you guys to let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do drop a like on the video and, of course, hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on 230,000 subscribers. And good news is, I'll be back on at 8:30 tonight as well, because we need to talk about this title race. So, let's get stuck into it. Going to start off with Kelleher, and look, I've got to be honest about this today. It wasn't great from Creeveen. I have some sympathy for him for the first goal. Other people will think differently, but as a former keeper, I honestly feel you stand in the right position, your legs have to be open, you have to be ready to pounce, and it was flicked at the near post and passed in between his legs before you knew what was up. Second one was weak, I can't lie, it was. I could see what he was trying to do, but it still wasn't great. That being said, I got to give Creeveen Kelleher his score, so we've gone and given him a score of 5 out of 10 is not great, but I'm trying to be honest in my assessment of the game. So 5 out of 10 for Creeveen. Moving on now to the next Liverpool player. We're talking about Mr. Trent Alexander-Hero, because that's what he is. Trent is an absolute baller at the minute. I know the free kick was taken away from him, put out as an own goal, but I'm giving it to him. But most importantly, right at the end of the game, 3-3, up steps Trent, rocks in another goal, and he wheels off in celebration. Anfield explodes and Liverpool beat Fulham by 4 goals to 3. So your man of the match was Trent, and we've of course given him a score of 9 out of 10. Moving into the centre-back positions now, our captain for the day, Mr. Virgil van Dijk. Look, I'm going to say what I said about Kelleher. Our defence wasn't good enough today. Scoring 4 goals at home is great, but we shouldn't be conceding 3. Look, respect to Fulham and to Marco Silva. They came and they played a good game, but we need to be better than that defensively. We need to stop giving the ball away in transition as well, because we caused our own downfall on a few occasions. Virgil scored today, giving him a 6 out of 10, and I think that's more than generous for a defence that conceded 3. His centre-back partner today, Mr. Joel Matip, went off with an injury. We'll get an update as to how serious that injury is or isn't, so keep an eye out for that one. But he was okay. He wasn't great. A lot of stuff was coming down that right-hand side that Trent was evacuating the space. And his pass was the one that was misplaced to, I think, looking for Mohamed Salah for their first goal, which allowed the counter-attacks to happen. And I say this so many times, we are our own worst enemies in possession, and it was a misplaced pass from Matip that allowed that counter-attack to start. So we've given John Matip a score of 5 out of 10 today. Costas Simicas. Do you know what? I think he did okay up until that end of the game, where I still don't know how he didn't look over his shoulder and see the Cordova-Reid standing there, and then he allowed himself to be bullied at the back post. It wasn't great. But all in all, I think Costas has been performing. He's been performing fairly well since he's come into the team with Andy Robertson being out. So I'm not going to be overly harsh on him today. I thought of the back four, I think himself and Trent certainly did better than the centre back. So I'm going to give Costas a score of 6 out of 10. I know these scores seem a little bit low, but bear in mind we did concede 3 goals, so I'm trying to be balanced in my assessment. Alexis McAllister. So let me just say, wow, what a goal, what a strike. So happy for Alexis. He did get taken off at the end of the game, but I thought he did well today. I thought he showed a lot of bright sparks, and that goal, I mean, I could watch it all day. It's my pick of the game. What a goal. For me, the best one of the game. So we've given Alexis a score of 7 out of 10. Let me know if you think that's too generous, or maybe you think it's a little bit too harsh. Moving straight through, we now go to this man, Dominik Szoboszlai. I don't think he was awful today, but I don't think he was very good either. Didn't really get a grip of the game today for me, and I was calling for Harvey Elliott to come on as a substitution for Dominik Szoboszlai. Obviously the manager thought differently, and we'll move to speak about those substitutions in a moment, but look, I want a little bit more from Szoboszlai. I want a bit of that Hungarian Dominik Szoboszlai in this Liverpool team, a bit of that national team Szoboszlai. So I don't want to be overly critical, but again, he has set himself really high standards, so I've given him a score of 6 out of 10 today. Ryan Gravenberch. I love this kid. I do, and I feel so bad for doubting him when we signed him, but it was more I doubted the rhythm of him playing. But since he's come in every week, nailed on starter for me. And I thought he did okay today. I thought he was a bit better than Dominic Szoboszlai. That was my personal opinion. I thought McAllister was probably the best of our midfield trio that started. But again, nothing wrong with Gravenberch, and he always tries to make something happen. So we've given him a score of 7 out of 10. Now we move on to the great man, Mohamed Salah. Didn't get himself that 200th goal today, which would have been lovely. He's 11 away from going past Billy Liddell as well on the Liverpool goal scoring charts, and that will come in time. Today, Mo did a lot of good stuff defensively. He was tracking back. He was helping out when Trent vacated that right-hand side. It was himself and McAllister that were dropping back in. But we measure this man in goals. He didn't get one today, but he did set up a few opportunities. Obviously, there was the one that he headed in where I think Darwin misplaced the shot. There was the one that he slipped in that Darwin rattled the crossbar. So Mo is continuing to help out the team, and because of that, we'll give Mr. Mohamed Salah a score of 7 out of 10. Would have loved him to get that 200th goal today, though, in front of the Kop. Moving on to Darwin. Not good. I mean, I'm not going to knock the kid. I'm not going to say I've doubts about him, because I don't, but we need to see a bit more. We need to see these silly chances stop being missed. Look, the one that hit the crossbar, fair enough. But the one where he slips and fluffs his lines, it's just that little bit of composure. He's so many good attributes to his game. But when you show up with that double ponytail or those plaits and a pair of pink boots, you best show up on the pitch. And I don't really feel like he did that today. So I've given him a score of 5 out of 10. And again, I'm trying to be honest in my assessment. Lucho, I love Lucho. I do. I really, really can watch this guy play football every day of the week. Again, today, he was okay on occasion. Cut inside a couple of weak shots. But I do love a bit of Lucho. Again, not on the score sheet today, so maybe a bit more to come from in that regard. But he always works hard, keeps teams honest, and I think he's a great option. And the fact that we don't have Diogo Jota available through injury at the minute, we need to make sure that we can keep these guys confident and firing. And I've given him a score of 7 out of 10. Moving on to Cody Gakpo, who probably could have considered himself very unfortunate not to start this game. Came on and made a bit of a difference, to be fair. The big change came when Endo came on, let's be honest, when Trent was pushed into midfield, Gomez the right back. But I think Gakpo, he has to start the next one. After seeing that from Núñez and Gakpo hadn't scored a brace in his last one, I feel like against Sheffield United, we probably have to start Cody Gakpo. So for his little cameo, we're giving him a score of 7. Now, this man, Joe Gomez, he freed up Trent to go into midfield. And as I mentioned, with the substitution of Arturo Endo as well. And look, I'll be honest, I was screaming for Elliott to come on. But the manager went with Endo, and I was a little bit frustrated. I was a little bit concerned. But Joe did allow Trent to move up the pitch, and we started to create a little bit more at that end. And that's because of the substitution from the gaffer. So well done him. And Joe was solid as she goes when he came on. So we'll give Joe a score of 6. Not because he did anything wrong, but you know, he didn't really impact the game too much in either way. It was more just allowing Trent to get into that position. So we move on to Eboue, and look, it was unfortunate that he had to come on because that meant Joel Matip had an injury. But look, I love Eboue. He is a top quality centre back, and to think he's so young as well, the years he has ahead of him. I always find it difficult bringing on subs like that and giving them a score. So I've just averaged it out and given him a 6, to be honest, because I don't remember too much he did right or wrong either way. This man, though, this was the one I was looking forward to. This was the one I was waiting for. Arturo Endo. So I was nervous when he was coming on because I didn't understand what Klopp was doing. But when I seen the impact of Endo on and Liverpool winning the balls high up the pitch and pressing higher up the pitch and Endo making these tackles, that goal, though, ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't seen Arturo Endo's goal, it just has everything you want in a goal. So it's got the amazing technique from Endo too, side footed top corner. But it's the celebration, the release from Endo after he scored it. I think he won us all over. Delighted for him, right in front of the Kop as well. And hopefully that's going to be the moment that really launches his Liverpool career. So well done to Arturo Endo. You get yourself a big, beautiful score of 8, sir. And thank you for that magic moment today. Now we move on, last but definitely not least, to Mr. Jurgen Klopp. I've got to be honest with you, I didn't really like his in-game management today until the end. I felt like the substitution should have come a little bit earlier. I felt like the fact Darwin Núñez finished the game. Yes, I know we were chasing goals, but he wasn't really offering us that much today. And I do have a little few choices with Jurgen Klopp today I disagreed on. But all in all, he did make the change that allowed Endo to come on and Trent to push up the pitch. So I guess he gets credit for that one. But we need to sort out our defensive issues. We can't be conceding 3 goals at home in the Premier League. So for that, we've given Mr. Jurgen Klopp a score of 6 out of 10. Now I know some of these scores seemed a little bit low today, but I'm measuring off the fact that we conceded 3 at home as well. Scoring, that's never really a problem for Liverpool. But after the weekend that's in it, I am absolutely buzzing. Because that today, we capitalised. City dropped points at home for the 2nd week in a row. And we went out today and got our result. We've done our part. We're in a title race and I'm buzzing for it. So I hope I see you guys again tonight at 8:30. We'll be right live on here. Let me know your thoughts on the player ratings. And again, thank you for all your support of the channel. Do hit that subscribe button because we are closing in on 230k. And thank you for all your support. I'll talk to you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.